Protesters and police clash again in Georgia. The country's president says she won't step down when her term ends over the government's decision to suspend talks to join the EU. Islamist rebels in Syria seized control of the second largest city, Aleppo, and are now sweeping south. And two humanitarian groups say members of their staff have been killed in Israeli airstrikes in Gaza. Iceland is holding a snap election, largely triggered by disagreements within the governing three-way coalition over asylum seekers and immigration, where voters have been more preoccupied with the state of the economy, housing and the health service. Opinion polls suggest major changes may be ahead, with the opposition gaining ground and parties in the current coalition suffering big setbacks. The Indian billionaire Gautam Adani has, for the first time, publicly responded to allegations by the US that he was part of a multi-million-dollar bribery scheme. Speaking in the Indian city of Jaipur, Mr. Adani said that what he described as attacks only made his company stronger. Well, earlier this month, the billionaire and 7 others were indicted by US prosecutors and accused of misleading international investors.
Good morning. Our headlines today. The BBC is facing more questions about its handling of allegations against the MasterChef presenter Greg Wallace after emails show it was warned about him in 2017.
The most intense escalation of Syria's civil war in years. Islamist rebels seized control of the country's second largest city, Aleppo. They are now sweeping south.
Hopes of a breakthrough in talks to address worldwide plastic pollution, but divisions remain over whether to limit the amount companies are allowed to produce.
Russia carries out more airstrikes in Syria in an attempt to halt the advance of rebels. Trying to reduce plastic pollution, talks about a global treaty break down without agreement.
And finally, former rugby league star Kevin Sinfield has started another extraordinary challenge in honour of his best friend and former Leeds Rhinos teammate Rob Burrow. Kevin set off this morning on the first of 7 ultra marathons in 7 days around the country in his latest effort to raise money for motor neuron disease causes. He has already raised over £60 million, and this is his first major fundraising campaign since Rob passed away from MND in June this year. Will Tullis reports.
In Liverpool this morning, Kevin Sinfield and some festive friends took the first steps of what will be, for Kevin, a 230-mile journey. He will run 7 ultramarathons in 7 days, the latest in a long line of fundraising odysseys in the rugby league star's mission to help those with motor neuron disease.
The Princess of Wales sends an emotional Christmas message calling for love, not fear, ahead of her carol concert next week.
The Princess of Wales will deliver a Christmas message about the importance of love in the darkest of times at her annual carol service at Westminster Abbey this week. Among those invited are the families of the children killed in the Southport attack in July. Catherine is returning to public duties after being treated for cancer. Simon Jones reports.
It's become an annual tradition, the Princess of Wales's Christmas carol service. But much has changed for Catherine over the past year. In March, she revealed she had been diagnosed with cancer. She's now completed a course of chemotherapy and is returning to work. A chance to take stock of the importance of loved ones, especially during difficult times. In a letter written to the 1,600 people who will attend Fridays together at Christmas service, Catherine delivers a very personal message. She says, "We must all shine for each other, because in times of joy and sadness, we are all each other's light. Love is the light that can shine bright, even in our darkest times." On social media, the Prince and Princess of Wales have posted pictures of the invitations for the service being printed in the traditional way. Catherine's letter to the congregation will appear in the order of service. The Olympic cycling champion Sir Chris Hoy, who has terminal prostate cancer, will light a candle, as will Lindsay Burrow, the wife of the former rugby league star and motor neuron disease campaigner Rob Burrow, who died in June. Catherine's first official public engagement after her cancer treatment was a visit to Southport to meet the bereaved families of 3 children killed in a knife attack. The families have been invited to the service. Kensington Palace says Christmas is a chance to mark the many people who have worked to support those in need. Simon Jones, BBC News.